Hi, this is Angela Lynn. I am the Senior Collection Manager of Ethnology and History here at the University of Alaska Museum of the North. We are on the Trothyada campus of UAF, here on the traditional lands of the Dana of the Lower Tanana River. At UAF, at UAMN, we are a research-based institution. We are a key component of the University of Alaska. And so education and training are kind of core elements of our mission, as well as our core values. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen and take you through some of the resources that we have online that can help you get experience in whatever areas of your work you are most interested in gaining skills in. If here at the main page for the museum, it's just uaf.edu/museum. And up here across the top, you can see all the various divisions of the museum. So as a research institution, we have these 10 different collecting departments. So if you have a specialty that you're really interested in, or your cultural center really focuses in, or you have elements of these different departments, you can reach out to the collection manager or the curator of our different departments here just by clicking on the department link. So I'll go ahead and go to mine. And then over on the left, you should have a standard set of menu items, and department staff should be a direct link there. And then you'll have the contact information of that person. So you can go through, and if you're really interested in fine art, you can go over here and find Della and get her contact information and find out what kind of training opportunities are available with those specific people. Now, in addition to research and collections, we have our exhibition and design department, as well as digital media. And so if you're really interested in learning how to do a podcast, or you want to learn how to do virtual exhibitions, or you're looking for how to upgrade your mount making skills, you can reach out to our staff in that department. And again, Roger, Tamara, Jonah, and Cindy, all of their information is right there. And you can cruise through, the various elements on the website to see what they really specialize in. In addition to exhibits, then we have the Museum Education and Public Programs Department. And so if you want to build up your connection with your local school, or you're interested in putting together hands-on kits or something like that for folks to use when they're in your cultural center, our team in the education department have great connections specifically with K through 12, but they also have put together a lot of really great virtual programs and things to do, which is right here on our menu board up here, the virtual museum. So if you have good internet capabilities in your community, and you're interested in kind of putting together resources for folks near and far, our team in the education and public programs division are the ones who are really responsible for assembling that. And then we have membership and development. So if you need to learn how to fundraise and you're looking for tips on how to do that, you can reach out to Aylin, Aylin Alligood, who's our development officer. Or if you're looking at trying to create a membership program. These are some of the, we consider ourselves a mid-sized museum. So we've got about 30 full-time staff. And so people who are running these different programs, we have to get into the nitty-gritty and the details of all of these things. So folks, again, because we're part of the University of Alaska, we are seriously committed to training people and passing on that knowledge and helping to create the next generation of museum professionals. So this is a great chance for folks to dig into the various elements of our institution. Now, in terms of formal credit for things, we do, of course, have the fundamentals of museum studies. I'll click over here. So the UAF course catalog, we do have museum studies courses at UAF. These are a set of 5 courses that were developed, I think it was in 1987. And so they've been in place for a long time, but because people retired, the classes went into what they called moldy status. And in 2020, We revived these courses so that we could create some distance learning opportunities during COVID. And so the only course that we're formally offering right now is MSM 211, which is Fundamentals of Museum Studies 1. This is our sort of overview course. We developed this through UAF's eCampus. So this is a fully online course. You can get 3 credits for it. It's a 211, so it's a 200 level course. And if you have a UAF email address, you can log in here and you can access any of these modules. A lot of the material that we have here are publicly sourced videos, but we've done a lot of custom PowerPoints. And so you can click through this. This is publicly accessible. It's just a WordPress site. And so as I sort of thinking about the different areas that you'd like to expand your knowledge on, you can click through our various modules. And you can see 14 weeks of content there. And click through and see what the lecture themes are. These are PowerPoints that we're working on getting reconnected. They used to be embedded right there. There's a whole set of vocabulary. There's assignments and videos that we've posted, articles that you can read, and then discussion questions that you can think about. And we would have our students post these through the messages forum. So this is a formal class, 3 credits, 200 level, and again, fully delivered online with 1 hour per week in person over Zoom. The next time we'll be offering this will probably be in another year. So we're working on trying to update some of the content, and then working on developing 212 probably will be the next one, or possibly jumping up to 312 for the museum collection management. So our faculty curators and our collection managers right now are working on trying to figure out what our next priority is going to be for that formal coursework. Now, in addition to those museum studies courses through UAF, if you are already a University of Alaska student, you can sign up. And if you're in Fairbanks, I think you could actually do this remote. We haven't figured out how to do this remote yet. But if you're in Fairbanks or you want to spend a semester in Fairbanks, we have what's called the Museum Research Apprenticeship Program. And this is also a 1 to 2 credit formal class. We offer this fall and spring. You can either take it at the 200 level, so 288, or you can take it at the 400 level at 488. So the difference between the two is that 288, your expectation is that you're coming in and you've got 0 museum knowledge. You really want to start from the ground up. And this is really all about its goal is to help students learn how to use collections as a resource for research. How do you do collections-based research? And it can be from the herbarium, it can be in earth sciences if you like dinosaurs, or Pleistocene mammals. You can work with the archaeologists, you can work with fine art. So we have, those 10 different collecting departments. Each semester, the faculty curators will decide whether they have the capacity to take on students that semester. But generally, you reach out to the curator, again, through that department link up here, and finding the folks that you're interested in. And then you let them know that you're interested in the course, and then they will release it, and then you can register for it through the UAF. And so this is F288. So that's for Fairbanks campus. And so we haven't done any distance delivery fully. I did have an MRAP student finish the semester remotely during 2020 when he was doing his MRAP course, but it's custom catered to you as an individual, what you're interested in, what you want to get out of it. So this is a really great way, and it's repeatable. It is only a pass fail though. And so if you're concerned about getting upper level credit, or you're a grad student, this course will not count on your graduate study plan, but it can count at that upper level division if you can take pass fail courses, probably be listed as an elective depending on your program. So those are the formal educational offerings that we have here at the UA Museum of the North through the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Now, on top of those, I'll go back to the museum collections departments again here. In addition to those individualized courses, our museum employs a lot of students. So if you're already a UAF student and you're looking for a job and you want to get hands-on training, we all hire students to work in our departments, as well as, in the education, exhibits, and visitor services. We have a lot of students that are working for the museum. And so that's a really great way to get paid, to get hands-on learning. If you're already, here in Fairbanks, enrolled in 6 credits, you have to have 6 credits in order to be eligible for student employment at UAF. So that's a consideration that you might talk about with, again, department people. If we know you're interested, this is another thing that we can do. We operate on a lot of soft money, on a lot of grants. We'll see how that changes over the next year or so. But when we have those grant opportunities, we can write in students either as student interns, student employees, or even as a student fellowship. We can write those in as funded positions, and we can incorporate that formal learning process while you're getting paid. You can potentially get a tuition waiver to take our museum studies course. So there's different ways that, again, if you're in communication with the department that you're most interested in working with, there's different opportunities that we can customize and try to find funding to help you get that training that you're interested in. So that's with student employees. And those, during the school year, you can work 20 hours a week, and in the summer, you can work full time, up to 40 hours a week on those pay scale or pay periods. In addition to that, we offer internships. So again, many of our departments have endowments, and so they're not restricted to the grant funding constraints. And so we earn interest off of these foundation accounts. And so many of those accounts are set up specifically to pay students, either to pay your salary or to pay as a short-term or longer-term, maybe semester-long internship. And so again, working with the individual department person, you can customize your experience based on what you want to get out of it and where you're sort of at the baseline. And again, that can be through the collections departments, education. So for summer internships, our education department has limited opportunities because of shortened contracts in that department. And so a lot of the summertime is different people are off contract during that time. But so again, you just reach out to the head of that department and find out what opportunities exist for internships. Exhibition and design, lots of new exhibits getting mounted in the early part of the summer or changing out potentially in the fall. So reaching out to folks there, graphic support or, graphic design work, fabrication, mount making, working in the gallery spaces themselves. These are all the core functions of that department. And so that's a great range of opportunities exist within the exhibits department. Visitor services, same thing. They're more focused on hiring people to interact with the frontline opportunities. So I don't know if they offer any internships, but it's worth reaching out to the director of visitor services to find out what exists in that area. And then same thing with development. We've never had any sort of formal internships that I know of with ALEN. But I think it's there's definitely potential out there. She could find a donor to sponsor that. That's the great thing about development. So those are sort of the formalized structures that we have available. So employment, the museum research apprenticeship program, the museum studies courses, summer internships, and then fellowships again that exist some for a year sometimes they're shorter contracts. Those are things that we would specifically create a position and hire you and do that hands-on training while you help us improve certain aspects of our operations, and then we in turn work with you to improve different skill sets as well. So those are the bigger and sort of formalized things. On the shorter term, many of us are happy to have you come in as an individual for a couple days, 3 days at a time, to really hit some key spots that you would like to fine tune in your own work. If you want to talk about philosophical questions, there's specific tasks and skills that you would like to work on. Just reach out to us, and we're happy to talk about what timing might work out, what external funding might exist for helping you to get here. We are on the road system, of course, so that helps out. But knowing our seasonality and winter tourism is taking a lot more of the hotel rooms these days too. But we do have housing available here on campus, some parts of the year as well, and great camping opportunities in the summer as well, depending on what your needs are. So I think the key thing is to start with our website. You can go right to the About UAM and to the contact page there, and everybody's phone numbers and emails are listed there. So full transparency on who is here and how to get a hold of them. No need to hunt very far for that information. And I can always be reached through Dixie and through Museums Alaska if you're not able to find this information. So I will stop sharing my screen right there. And then Dixie, if you have any specific questions or anything else that you'd like me to follow up on.
Yeah, I was wondering when it comes to the class, is there a way to audit that class, or is there a
Yeah,
way?
absolutely. We have had people audit it before. You still have to register for it, but there's a special way to register as an audit because of FERPA, which is the privacy rules that guide students' right to privacy. We can't just have anybody who's not registered for the course sit in unless we get permission from everybody who's in that class ahead of time. So if you find a topic that you're really interested in, and when the course is running and you'd like to sit in on that, you can reach out to us and see if you're able to join the in-person discussion. You can, if you have a UAF or a University of Alaska, I think it can be any UA email address, you can access all this material because it's posted on Google Drive through the university Google Work Suite. And so the articles, if you click into the modules and you click on the articles that exist that are posted in the activities and assignments section, those all hyperlink over to usually scanned articles that live in the UA domain of the Google workspace. And so you'll only be able to see those fully if you have a UA email address and are logged in. If you're interested in just some of them, there's enough information that you could probably find the articles if you're good at hunting, or if finding the scans of or chapters that exist in the books. You're welcome, because this is open access. And so that's our goal, was to make this as accessible to people broadly, and then to really dig into the meat of the stuff through the logged in and registered students. So long answer to a short question. Yes, you can formally audit, and then there are other ways that you can access this material without even doing it that way.
Okay, great. I think that your all your explanations were very thorough, so that was my only question.
Great, super. Well, thanks for that. And I see I've gone on for a half an hour here, so hopefully that's good information for people, and definitely follow up if there's any questions.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.